Welcome to a new episode of The Gamer's Diary, episode 5. Now, I originally made a Gamer's Diary episode 5 some time back, about last week, and it got a copyright strike on it. I can't really talk about why I got the copyright strike because if I mention it, I might get striked on this channel too. Well, no, it wasn't a copyright strike. It was a strike for scam and deceptive practices. YouTube felt like my video was flagged because I made a joke that was inappropriate, and I'm very sorry. But other than that, let's get to the show. So, welcome to another episode of Gamer's Diary where we talk about me, things are on my mind, and I feel like as we make every episode, you guys will get to know me a little bit more. So here today on Gamer's Diary, we're talking about the subject of moving on, the subject of forgetting about the past. Now, it is true that there is probably a 99% chance you will never see the video that I posted that they took down, because they didn't really specify to me, and YouTube did a really poor job at explaining to me why my video had scam and deceptive practices. I tried reaching out to them on Twitter, and I even asked them in the email, like in the dispute, that how is this a flag? And they, like, if they care, I wouldn't believe them, because they obviously don't care, at least about me. Because if they did care, like, everybody knows that they always reach out to you on Twitter. So I try to reach out to them and see if I could get a hold of them on Twitter, see what was the reason why, but no answer. So I guess YouTube doesn't care about my channel, at least not yet. Obviously, because I'm a small channel. But we just have to learn how to move on. So I thought I'd talk about the description on my previous video that got taken down about the subject, because this was very important. So on Gamer's Diary episode 5, the video was made June 29th, 2019. Today it is now July 9th. That was the day they took it down. Well, it was supposed to be for Saturday, but I released it on Sunday, which was July 1st. It's July 9th now. The moment I worked on that video for 2 days, and they took it down the moment I released it. So the whole point of the video was to give a shout out and support to some special YouTube channels that have been supporting me. You guys know who you are, definitely, but I don't know if acknowledging that was what got me striked. So I'll find another way to support you guys. But I appreciate all my viewers for giving me the support that they have been doing. So moving on. Ever had someone doubt you once, but then it took years later to prove them wrong? But none of that matters, because they are not in your life anymore. So you have to move on. In this episode of Gamer's Diary, I briefly reflect on the times people have doubted me, and I've come to really appreciate the support people have been giving me on this channel. This video is a little late. Oh, it's a lot late now. It's really late. But because life happens, and we get left behind, but we got to keep on going no matter what. As long as we believe in ourselves, we can move on. There was a recent chapter in my life when everyone thought I was a slow one, but you need to let go of the past and move on. Once you move on, you can go to the next stage where you will accomplish things bigger than you ever knew. That is the description that I had that I made for the previous video. Well, we'll talk more about that, just like we did last time. We're not going to lose any content. I'm going to make sure that whatever was important that I had from the previous video, I'm going to bring over to this video. Now, the whole Gamer's Diary series was a series based off of the Haunted Gaming series that a YouTuber named Urahara made in his channel called Some Ordinary Gamers. So, after watching his Haunted Gaming series, and this is not something that recently occurred yesterday, we're talking about years ago. Years ago, as in, give or take, maybe, let's see, about around 5 to 6 years ago. I used to always watch Murahara's Haunted Gaming series, and those were my favorite. All the creepypasta.exe games, yeah, they're kind of stupid, but hey, yeah, he thinks it's funny. I think it's entertaining. It entertains me. There was some point a few years back before that where, at least in my view, there was a spike in the .exe series for YouTube. For YouTube. It all started with seeing the rumors about Suicide Mouse. It was a game where Mickey Mouse was wanting to commit suicide. This is also based off of supposedly some actual real footage that's on YouTube of Mickey Mouse just walking with his hands in his pocket, looking not so happy. And that's where this occurred. Supposedly, during the creation of this video, Suicide Mouse, it occurred when we did not have color in TV yet. They made these very, very off-the-wall accusations saying that during the video, as you hear it, it'll get more staticky and you'll hear screaming in the background. This screaming that you hear in the background would be like ear-wrenching of someone screaming. And as the screams are going along, the screams are getting louder and louder. And as the screams are getting louder, the actual figure no longer looks like Mickey Mouse in the video. You can't even make out the video at this point, along with a very, very high frequency noise going on. They said that all of a sudden the video turned into color. This was a shock to people because back in the day when this occurred, color did not exist yet. And then at the end of the video was apparently someone killing themselves with a gun in a very, very dark room. And they say that the people that were in the studio of Disney, when they saw this video, they killed themselves too. So supposedly whoever sees this video will kill themselves. That's that's the creepypasta. That's the story. These videos and creepypastas are really, really meant to be for entertainment purposes. They're not really meant to hurt the individual in any sort of shape, form, or way. So these are basically like scary stories that are very, very entertaining. And I remember it was a weird feeling discovering. It was a weird feeling discovering these creepypastas because they'll get me very, very scared at first when I was younger. But once you get scared, you obviously get this feeling of adrenaline, and the feeling of adrenaline you get when you get scared, it's like some sort of high. It makes you really, really feel good when you get scared and you have adrenaline pumping in you. It's a natural body mechanic. So that's one of the reasons why there's some adrenaline junkies who like to do stuff like jump off a bridge with a bungee cord, jump out of a plane, skydive. These guys like doing that stuff because they like the enjoyment of the rush they get, as they call it, from adrenaline pumping in their body. So that was the reason why I liked watching these creepypastas, because I liked the feeling of how it felt to be scared. And like, this is not really a good thing to talk about, but when it comes to suicide, for some reason the nature of suicide has always intrigued me and has piqued my interest. Now, this is something that's really difficult to talk about, because like, I don't really want you to take it the wrong way. Suicide is very bad in any shape or form, in any moral way. Yes, there are people out there who are really struggling, who are really having trouble, and if you're one of the people who are struggling and having trouble and difficulty, I sincerely apologize. And in some cases, I can't really, it's really tough to understand the human mind on what exactly you're going through when it comes to someone that's in the state of wanting to commit suicide. This is a very difficult thing to talk about. So yes, I'll admit, I don't know how it feels. I don't know how what you're feeling, what you're going through, but I do know this. Like, in some cases, yes, it may seem selfish for us to say for you to not do it, because it's really hard to take. But I'm definitely going to say that I'm against suicide. If you're one of those people that are struggling, please call the suicide hotline, okay? Because when it comes to individual committing suicide, even if you don't feel like it will affect anybody, it doesn't just affect you. It affects everybody around you. And even though you might feel like there's no one around that it will affect, there's always someone behind you, even if it's behind the scenes, even if it's just a stranger that just barely met you. There's always someone out there that's gonna care about you, that's not gonna want you to commit suicide. So if you ever want to commit suicide, I definitely will push you to call the suicide hotline, please. You can call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-8255. Or if you don't want to call someone, you also could have an online chat with them through Google to chat with a specialist and on how you feel to prevent you from committing suicide. So I really hope that everything works out for you and that you get help if you're really having trouble. So that's what inspired the series, The Gamer's Diary. It was mainly the style of how Mudahara from Some Ordinary Gamers did the Haunted Gaming series. I really hope you like this video. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more content. And I hope you have a good night or good morning. Have a nice day. And I'll see you in the next one.